What's up, YouTube? How are you doing? How are you doing? The weekend is coming near, right? I mean, the market never stops. So, you know, is it weekend or is it just another day? Because there's always opportunities out there, of course. But yo, what's up? Flotty, good to have you here as well, of course, with all the emotes that I always see in the comments as well as then in the live chat. De opslag, welkom. Goed dat je het bent, man. And anyone else that is here in this live stream of about an hour, let's say we're going to go through Elliott Waves, going to have a little look at the local price section. You know, we're ranging for a little bit in quite a small range for, well, basically now, well, getting close to a day, honestly now. So let's see if we can maybe catch a little bit of a breakout or something. So, you know, you never know. Luciol25, bonjour de la France. Bonjour, mon ami. Hey, talking about France, my fiance is now in Paris. She arrived in Paris 2 hours ago as her sister from South Africa, Cape Town, has business to do in Paris for work. So she's in Paris, and this is the first time my fiance can see her sister on this side of the world. So she is mega excited, and yeah, she's gonna go to rugby, to the finals as well. This weekend, South Africa versus the All Blacks. So yeah, she's definitely gonna enjoy her time in Paris. So good to have some French people here as well. RC Big Boar Manek, good to have you here as well. Let me put you all on the screen as well. So let's just put you here. So there's your like. Thank you, sir or madam. No. For your like. Aksha Dulanyith, welcome, good to have you here. And Stace on 2K16, what's up, man? I'll go live later as well, later as well for Diamond, so I can answer some questions and show you some stuff regarding the DMs, of course. I'll show you a couple of examples. I speak little English. I can kinda read French somewhat. My French speaking is not great though, so it's an English channel in the end, of course. Formula 1 in Mexico, absolutely. Benji, good to have you here as well. Good job, Wave Elliott. Merci beaucoup. Yeah, Elliott Wave is amazing. It's a fun tool. So always watch your videos. Never been live. I'm doing very well. So before we get into content, do always a little bit of chatting, and then we go into Elliott Waves, the different time frames, local as well, of course, what is happening with price. We got some bullish CVD divergences, so we're gonna go over all of that, of course, and then go back to chatting after. Some trading psychology is always interesting, but I'm doing good. I'm doing, let's say, I'm a bit in like a thinking period business-wise, because I have another business in the gaming and esports industry around like educating parents with gaming children and stuff. But YouTube is, yeah, it's also, of course, you know, it's starting, and it's like time management becomes or might become a thing. So I you know, personally, I'm doing very good, but there's of course stuff happening in the background, which also is all positives. It's a luxury position, but you know, it leads to choices to be made. So yeah, I'm doing good. I'm doing perfectly fine, and I'm happy to be live here. So yeah, thanks for asking. I've never been online where you do live. Here you are on the big screen. There you are. Justin Chu, what's up? Live right now suits me. Good to hear that. And the fish, English, very delicious. So Vos, if you're an Elliott Wave, what wave would you like to be? If you're an Elliott Wave, what wave would you like to be? What wave would I like to be if I would have been an Elliott Wave? By the way, we have bearish CVD here. Let me just put it red. I will answer that question. I'm just thinking while I'm doing the screen stuff here. What wave would I be if I was an Elliott wave? You know, that's a very good question. I really like to think about this because, of course, waves have many characteristics. What's that candle? Waves have many characteristics. And, you know, I'm also thinking about corrective and complex waves. Let me actually quickly do this here, make a screenshot. While I continue to think, I will give you an answer, but I actually want an answer where I want the answer to have some body, you know what I mean? These are the bearish CVD divergences. Of course, you can also see the green one here now, more locally. But the bearish one, 5 minute, these have now played out. So that's at least something to keep in mind. But of course, it's downwards pressure. You already had these bullish CVD divergences. So there's some absorption going on, so we might actually move towards the downside, which I quickly post over here. I'm now live on YouTube. Okay, let's get in the content and Elliott waves. I think if I was a wave, what a question, this guy. If I was an Elliott wave, then I would have been probably I think I probably would have been something like a WXY. Yeah. And I'll give you the reason why. That's a funny question before we jump into the Elliott wave content. So I'll probably, if I was a wave, I would have probably been a WXY. Reason being that a WXY is basically a corrective structure in 3 phases. You have phase number 1, phase number 2, phase number 3, which in some way you can mimic into life and be like, hey, phase number 1 is still a certain like moment in time or age or something happened. Phase number 2 and phase number 3, like you can like put that in there. So my phase number 1 was from 0 to when I quit medical school in 2018 to follow my passion in the gaming esports industry. Phase number 2 is where I'm in now, which is then wave X, which is like business, you know, finding your way and all that sort of stuff. And then phase 3 is, I don't know, yet to come. But each wave has its own characteristics. So each, or in a WXY, because a WXY is, of course, W is a 3-wave pattern, a flat or a zigzag. Then you have X can be anything, and then Y is a triangle, flat or a zigzag. So I think that makes the answer interesting, because of course wave W is finished. I'm now in X, which can of course be a very complex wave structure. It's very difficult to know how far it retraces, how deep it goes, right? You don't know exactly, but you just wait for the candles to form. Time will show you what will happen. So, you know, like that's I guess an interesting way of thinking about what wave would I have been. Probably a WXY corrective structure. I hope that satisfies your answer, Sophos. Jeez. Wave 3/3, yeah. Oh, let me actually say, by the way, the bearish one already. Oh, yeah. People know Elliott waves. I don't have to say anything. Okay, there you go. Answered probably the most interesting question that I have had so far on any live stream by Sophos. There you go. What a unique question. I love that one. Damn, that's a very, I think I never had such an interesting question yet on a live stream, even in the Q&A. By the way, I haven't done a Q&A for a long time. If you guys want, I can do another Q&A video. People can send their questions and I will answer all questions coming my way. Okay, while I keep an eye on the chat, you're going to be on the right side on my other screen. We're going to have a look at the content and we're going to focus on the range, and then we can zoom out after. But of course, first let's zoom in. 50-minute time frame, what's been happening over here, because it's so far actually been quite a nice range. The only problem is a little bit like the CVD here because of the highs, but I'll explain that in a second. Daywald, welcome, good to see you here as well. Good to have you here. Also, by the way, Daywald, I still have to reply to you in Discord as well. But also thank you for replying in general chat. I am reading, even though I might not always reply. When I went to my speaking gig yesterday and I sat in the bus back, I was checking Discord and I saw your responses in general chat to the guy that had some questions about if trading is for him. I really appreciate your responses there. They're very, very good. Very nice answers. In general chat there. So, and I completely agree. And I still have to apply to you in the, I think, Silver Lounge or Gold Lounge. But okay, let's get over the, let's get to the work, right? Bitcoin, Elliott Waves. Cool. We have two scenarios that we are looking at, right? The scenarios have not changed compared to the video this morning. It's just that the more local range has continue to be longer in time, right? Which can still, so far, be a wave 4, right? So in this particular scenario, we're looking at an ABC regular flat. C target over here, we have 33.3 to 32.8K. You expect a return. Price could move to the key level here, which is the low, and a 1 hour gap, which can act as resistance for then a push to the upside, which of course means you have to break the support. If price would come down a third time, can imagine, you know, we're going to move to the downside. We have a double bottom here as well. Funny enough, we also have a double top over here. So that is quite interesting. Now, the invalidation is quite clear. In a impulse to the downside, which a wave C is in a flat, wave 1 and 4 are not allowed to have overlap unless you think about diagonals. But that's at the moment not the case. Especially also because wave 3 is longer than wave 1. And by far most commonly, you have contracting diagonals, not expanding diagonals. And a contracting diagonal, in a contracting, wave 3 is actually shorter than wave 1. So a contracting diagonal does not look good. So the moment price moves up and hits the invalidation, we're thinking about a potential like a triangle shape. But that's of course not yet relevant, as we haven't yet actually invalidated this particular scenario, and we are still ranging below the 0.5 in this sideways structure, which of course starts to be quite complex. Now the weekend is coming up. If there is going to be some move today, I expect it to be before 10 p.m. Central European time tonight, because at 10 p.m. the markets close, or at least the last one, which is like New York, closes at 10 p.m. Central European time. So if there's going to be any move towards resistance up, or potentially to some more, well, we don't have great support per se, but there's like, I have this wick, but other charts have this low. We have a 1 hour order block, which has been tested once, and you then have the key level and the gap. So you do have support. So either or, move up, move down, but it has to hit before the weekend, because I think if the weekend hits, usually last weekend was quite volatile, but most commonly the weekends are quite rangy, and you just have a boring weekend in a price range of another $200, you know, like basically what we've had today so far. Not much happening per se. The 0.5 for a wave 4 is like a maximum target. You can wick it. You don't really want to see candles close here. And the 0.618, which is also already above the invalidation, as it is above the wave 1 low, is not a Fibonacci that you want to hit for a wave 4. Another little interesting fact for you is if you take a Fib time from the beginning of A to the end of B and you click twice, and you then toggle on the 2, which I have over here, then wave C in time is not allowed to be longer than wave A and B twice, if you know what I mean. So you're not allowed to hit the 2 fib time. So as if price is going to continue ranging for whatever reason and it's going to hit the 2, it's not a wave C anymore, as long as you didn't go back like down to the wave C target, or at least took this low for a wave 5. That's the minimum. 1, 2, 3 sideways, 4, 5. Taking the low here would cement a 5-wave structure to the downside, and then it's very likely that throughout the weekend, if we can get this drop now, that throughout the weekend we're going to range here. And then early next week, we might maybe wick the lows, or we get some maybe like market structure change, bit of a move to the upside, retracement, bullish CVD, bullish RSI, whatever you're looking for. And then we get a continuation to the upside, which is still the higher probability scenario in this range, is going towards 36K. Of course, as a trader, I mean, day trading, probably swing traders, they've already entered below, right? But as a day trader, not necessarily a scalper, because they can they can trade this whole range all the time. But as a day trader, of course, if we're looking for 36K, for example, no financial advice, you guys know, we're on YouTube, right? We're not in some financial setting here. This over here, if this is a potential plan that you have for longs, can be interesting. There's resistance above as well. If price comes down, it becomes even more interesting because you have a better risk to reward ratio to the upside. But that's the question. If it comes down, no one knows what price will do. But in this scenario, it looks good. And the longer price ranges over here, instead of actually moving up for the triangle, the higher probabilities it might actually fall. We have some very, very small bearish CVD divergences here as well, which were countering the bullish one. Quite interesting. So we had bullish CVD here, and these got countered by the bearish CVD over here. There's absorption going on, price moving to the downside. If it finds continuation, we could be looking to take the double bottom as a bare minimum, and then see if we can get a little bit of continuation to fill this strange wick, take the low over here at 33.2K, maybe hit the order block again, or even go all the way down here to the key level. So that is definitely an area of interest for this scenario, price moving down before then a return to the upside. All right, and that is still the highest probability, is to take the double top that we have over here at 35.1K. By far at the moment, this looks very wave 4ish. It's not impulsive to the downside in a 1-2 structure at the moment. It's very corrective, very sideways, which means yes, you will have price moving down and up and down again, maybe a bit lower. But the highest probability is it's just a corrective sideways structure. And eventually price then takes the high again, moving towards that 36K area. Now, if we look at a couple of targets for a wave 5, if we think about 1, 2, 3, 4, working on 5 to the downside now, then a couple of targets are taking a normal fib from the low to the high of 4, toggle on the 1.618 and the 1.236, which of course gives you a target over here, which is just below, actually, I think, the wave C target, just below the 1-to-1. Then you have the high to the low of wave 1, and then I'll put it for now on the end of a potential wave 4. That's we got bearish CVD there as well. That is a target. Then you can take a trend-based fib from the high to the low of 3 and then to the end over here. Toggle on the 0.618. Where is it? There it is. Gives you this target. And then finally, what you can even do as well is you can take a fib from the high of 1 to the high of 2, which actually is this one then, to the low of 1. And that gives you this. So wave 3 in this case actually did not go outside the channel. Quite interesting. Usually a wave 3 likes to go a bit outside of the channel. So this is something we have to keep in mind. Wave 3 is not too extended here. Interesting. But then, yeah, this is of course an important area of interest for then a wave 5. And if we compare that with the target for the bullish scenario, I mean, the 1-to-1 is just below. So it's a bit of a messy chart now, but you understand now how to find potential wave 5s as well. So that is quite nice. price pushing down. That is also the highest probability at the moment, as also communicated this morning in the morning video, because as long as the invalidation of this flat scenario is not hit, we don't really have to look yet for another scenario unless price is going to show us many different things, like it's showing us clear signs it wants to go up, and currently it is just ranging. We do have bullish CVD divergences here, absolutely correct, but we also had the bearish one over here just now and price moving down. So it's a bit of like, you know, there's a fight going on locally, and let's see if price can find a bit of direction. But currently as it stands, probabilities are still higher for a move towards the downside. We have a double bottom here as well, but you do want to break the bullish CVD divergences that you have. So you want to take the high, right? That is something to keep in mind. With divergences, the one that appears first, based on statistics, has the highest probability of playing out, but the fact that this one then gets countered by new, fresh, local bearish CVD is of course not too great. It shows there was absorption of market shorts, but then there's absorption of market longs with now price moving down. Let's see what's happening on the 5. See what's happening on the 3. So you can see over here, by the way, lower highs on price, but look at yellow, higher highs on yellow. Now, of course, you have bullish again here in blue, higher low on price, lower low on the CVD. So it's a bit of a mix locally, and we got to patiently wait what's up. Now, the second scenario here, which is a more bullish, as you're not going to go towards the downside to the low 33Ks or maybe even 32K, is a triangle. It is a bit early to call a triangle. I personally only like to call a triangle the moment wave D is in, because the structures are very important for a triangle. And what I don't necessarily like, I don't like this wick in general. It's an anomaly. But yeah, you have an ABC and A, where this is your low, but in an ABC inside a wave B, the low of A is not allowed to be taken. And on my chart, it has been taken, right? So for me, it's a bit like, because the chart I use, Coinbase, is one of the only charts that has this wick. I can't necessarily say it completely invalidates the triangle scenario, but it does lower the probabilities of the triangle scenario, which again then increases probabilities. We will see the double low, the double bottom here taken for price to go to lower levels here at least, and then we got to wait and observe the reaction, right? That was the highest probability yesterday when price was here, when I only was able to upload one video in the morning. Price was ranging here, highest probability was a move down. This morning video, price ranging here, probabilities have not changed. Price now ranging here, probabilities still haven't changed, right, at the moment. And we have a double bottom, which is always interesting as well. So the bullish scenario is then the triangle here. And as mentioned, this wick kind of invalidates the triangle. It lowers the probabilities, I should say, because on my chart we got the wick, many other charts don't. The question is this a nice ABC? You know, because in a wave A, even if this is a diagonal shape and we discount the wick, then you want to see a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You want to see 3 highs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. High 1, high 2, high 3. And if you look over here, you only got 1 high. And you might be saying only 1, yeah, because this is the highest one. This one is lower. So it's not by much, but it is a lower one. And even if it was higher, you only have 2 highs, right? So that is the reason why I don't really like this as a wave A, B, and a C, because there's only 1 high, or the second one is not there, or this is your wave 1 by itself, right? This is a 1, then you have a very long horizontal wave B. Could be a possibility, but if this is your wave A, sorry, this is your A, this is your B, very long B compared to A. I don't know, it's not great. And even on the lower time frames, if you count that structure to the upside over here as well, this wave A has to be an impulsive structure. Wave 3 over here is longer than, no, was it the shortest? I gotta remember here. Let me pull quickly. So it is shorter than wave 1. And wave 3 is also shorter than wave 5, which is not allowed because a wave 3 is not allowed to be the shortest wave in an impulse. We can think about diagonals as well, but that also doesn't work because then wave 3 is shorter than wave 1. That's cool. But then wave 5 is longer than wave 3. That's not cool, right? So yeah, bit of a meh, right? It's not, it's just not nice Elliott wave. So that also increases probabilities again for price to still revisit the lower sides of this range, where the invalidation is quite clear. Price reaching the wave C low over here, 33.7 would for me invalidate a triangle scenario. So that is what's going on in this range. Resistance above over here, by the way, 34.4 or 5 basically to 35.7. Resist or support is where we are at the moment. All the support has kind of already been hit, so I'm going to make this one white, which is now going to act as a support resistance area in case price would go to the downside. And we could just gotta wait and see how locally the divergences are going to play out. Bearish CVD here already played out now because price took this low, so the bearish CVDs are neutralized, and now it's a waiting game if we get continuation or if the bullish CVD can do anything. But what's interesting is after the bullish CVD, you got new fresh low time frame bearish CVD, and the lower time frame CVD always gets priority over the higher time frame CVD, and the local one has already played out. So now the question is, can it move back to the upside? But from an Elliott wave point of view, the probabilities are still higher to at the moment to still visit the lower edges of the range. If we do move up, well, you guys know the invalidation 34.4. We are at support here, right? This is support. Now, again, no financial advice, but this is support, right? This was a nice area for shorts, bit doubtful. This is a nice area for longs, or if you have a plan here, you're at support and you're looking for a move up, there's resistance here as well. Could be interesting. Depends on your plan, because, and I very much recommend this, which I suppose, I mean, everyone trades their own way, but I can very, very much recommend building a strategy. So actually having a sheet with entry requirements, with checkboxes that you have to check before entering a position. You build statistics on your strategy. You know your win rate. You know your best risk to reward ratio. You just know your strat, right? And all those statistics will convert into a profitable trading plan. And then it's a waiting game. You got to patiently wait for the setups to come to you. You check the boxes, you enter the position, you leave the charts, because you know that based on statistics, over 100 trades, you're going to be profitable. You don't have to you don't want to change your plan. You build a plan, you backtest the plan. The moment you enter the trade, you stick to the plan, right? You don't want to actually change it unless you have exit requirements as well. Like, hey, if I enter a position, but then I see this, I exit. But that should also be based on statistics, right? It should be based on like something that made it into your plan. At least that's the way how I trade, and I can very much recommend this to anyone that wants to trade profitably over a long period of time. Build a plan. It's this. I always love the story of the example where you have a guy that wants to cut down a tree with an axe, right? And you can cut the tree for like 8 hours with an axe that is a bit bone, right? Like not sharp. And eventually it will fall, eventually it will fall. Or you put 6 out of the 8 hours into actually sharpening the axe, and then you cut the tree in 2 hours, in 2 hours. So sharpening your axe, building the strategy, that's where the time is. Trading does not cost a lot of time. You know what costs a lot of time? Building the strategy. That's what costing a lot of time. It also depends on what you want. Do you want to sit behind the chart all day or not, right? That's a lifestyle choice. Scalping versus swing versus day. But trading doesn't take a lot of time. The only thing that trading does is clicking a button. What takes a lot of time is making the plan, which makes you click the button to buy or sell, and over 100 trades become a profitable trader. That is what will take the most time. And the question is, if you want to become a professional trader, a consistently winning trader, you got to trade as a business. If you launch a business, what do? You build a business plan, you build a strategy, you look at your finances, you look at your lifestyle, you look at investments. That's what we do, right? We're building a plan here. We gotta that's the goal. So the time is in the preparation. Trading is just clicking a button. Everyone can click the button, right? At any moment in time. The question is, did you do the preparation to build a plan to trade market action, right? Trade price. So anyway, that being said, little sidebar, that's trading psychology. I always have trading psychology in my title because I love talking about trading psychology. So yeah, it's just it's interesting to me. I love trading psychology, and I love building strategies or working on my strategy as well. So yeah. That being said, let's see how this is gonna play out. Again, we are at support. As long as support is not broken, it is support. We have bullish CVD divergences here. The bearish ones already played out, so the bullish ones remain. Potentially can lead to upside. We got some new ones here as well. So let's see what happens. If it moves to the upside, perfectly fine. We have our resistance. We have our support. If we come down here again, looking for lower. So there we go. We can zoom out to higher time frames now and have a little look at what's up on the higher time frame. So let's go to the 1 hour. So by the way, to basically summarize this part, probabilities in this range are highest to take the high, right? Probably next week, honestly. Not this week anymore, I think. But probabilities are highest to take the high. It looks very much like a wave 4 range where you're just going to trade the range until it breaks, where as it stands, probabilities more locally are higher to still look for the double bottom and make a new low. Then price might range here for the remainder of the weekend potentially, before then a move up I expect next week based on then Elliott Waves, because that is the highest probability scenario to take these highs. If price moves up from here now, then the invalidation is hit of this scenario where we first move down, and then we can think about other scenarios, right? So yeah, we do have some bullish divergences, so you want to invalidate these if you're looking for downside. Very nice. Let's go to the higher time frames. 4 hour, and then after that I come back to chat. So bullish scenario. Nothing has really changed, right? We've just been ranging. Local price action is most interesting. Nothing here changed. 1 2 1 2 continuation up in a 3. Reason I don't like this as a 1 2 3, where this is your wave 2, labeled then as a WXY, is because W and Y are both zigzag family patterns or zigzag structures, which is not allowed because W and Y in a sideways double combo have to be a different structure. If W is a zigzag, Y has to be a flat or a triangle, which it clearly is not in this case. So yeah, that is the reason why I prefer a 1 2 1 2, even though wave 1 and 2 are bigger in price than the first 1 and 2, which is not preferred, but sometimes it is the way it is. So we have the 1.618 here, little bit of resistance for wave 3. The 1.618 is usually a minimum target, has been hit, little bit of resistance, pushing through. 2.618 is then the next target. If you cross the 2.618, the 3.618 is usually the next one. Currently we are ranging basically on top of the 2.618, and where is that 3.618? Guess what? It is in the middle of the target box at 36k, which is a level of interest we have in general. So that is very interesting indeed. Now, if this continues ranging over the weekend, we potentially might start to think about a blue wave 4. One can argue 1 2 3 4, is this a big 5, or if this is a 1 2 3 4 5, but time will tell. Wave 4s are always longer than wave 2s. If this is over here a wave 2, then it is no problem for wave 4 to be longer. This blue wave 2 was 9 days, so preferably this wave 4 takes 9 days or longer to form. As long as we are not really getting close to a 9-day long range, moving to the downside, where this is currently the target for a 4 between the 236, 33.1 and the 05, 38, we can't really yet talk about a a blue wave 4, after which we then get a blue wave 5, which finishes green 3, 4, 5, right? In the bearish scenario, still expecting another high, but then you move down and hit the invalidation that we have at the moment here on this bullish scenario. So this is the bullish scenario, is basically continuation. In a bearish scenario, this is a 3-wave structure. We cannot yet disregard this strategy, this count, because in this scenario, we have an expanding diagonal in a wave A. Then you have a very short wave B, but the 382 is a common target for B. And then you have a wave C, where this is wave 1, 2, 3, working on 4, 5. After this wave 5, you then expect price to move back towards the downside. That is the main difference between the bullish and the bearish scenario. Here you're going to continue moving down and you're going to hit the invalidation. That is the difference. While in this scenario, even if you move up, you want to see a move down and then continuation. You want to create a new high afterwards. And in the bearish scenario, you're going to hit the invalidation. That is the main difference between the two scenarios, which then, if you look on a higher time frame, leads you to over here a potential ABC or a WXY, but the target for X and B is the same. What is on the daily time frame incredibly interesting is that the daily candles are respecting the 1.38 very nicely indeed. Now the 1.38 is quite a well-respected Fibonacci target in general, but for the bearish scenario, this is your most common target area for a wave B or a wave X that goes above the high of W, which is of course quite interesting. And then eventually you're going to be looking for price to move down. So if it ranges here, wicks the highs and then move down, well, we know bullish scenario invalidated, going to be looking for lower lows. This is the bearish scenario. And as it stands, that's the thing. On this time frame, I'm neutral because I look locally. Locally, probabilities are currently highest to still move to 36K at some point, take the highs at 35.1. That is the highest probability locally. And the local price section will show us what the higher time frame probabilities will become. Now the bullish scenario was an ABC flat continuation to the upside. This is a running flat, very rare, especially on the higher time frame, so I don't really like to see it, to be honest. But yeah, it sometimes is the way it is. This wave C as well as A retraced to the 0.382 taken from the low to the high, which is a less common target for a wave 2 and a more common target for a wave C, and then potentially ABC and continuing to the downside. That's also something we still have to remember. So very interesting indeed, but a running flat is quite rare. You have an ABC zigzag, zigzag 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in C, C not taking the low of A. Yeah, it's a very rare corrective structure. In a running flat, preferably, it changes direction around the golden pocket. It then moves down and then moves up. And this one was very deep for a wave C, going all the way to the 886, which leaves this double bottom, but not on Bybit, because Bybit has a big ass wick to 23.6K, but also Bybit has a wick to 36.7K, 36.6K or something. And these wicks are always interesting to keep an eye on. So yeah, but now we're ranging closer to the 36.7K wick, of course, than we are to the 23.6K wick. So yeah, and we still expect price to at least find a bit more upside. And as long as locally we do not see weakness, probabilities are higher. We're going to continue to the upside. And even though a running flat is not great, even though the double 1-2, where the second 1-2 over here is bigger in price and 2 in time as well than the higher degree, as long as you don't see weakness, price moves up. And what's important here is that throughout the videos, and you can just backtrack all the videos, from the moment price moved up over here and created this wick, right, there were many signs price was going to continue towards that upside, and there was no weakness at that moment in time, right? And that is what makes this this move up interesting. Even though from an Elliott Wave point of view, a running flat and the double 1-2 is not great, on the lower time frames we didn't necessarily see weakness. We had a 1 hour order block here for the ones that remember. We tested that order block, said if we move above the order block, I'd be looking for the highs. On the 15-minute, moved above. Eventually, after a bit of a range, took the highs. Then we had a single print wick on the 15-minute. We hit the lower edge of the single prints. And as mentioned, second time you come back, then the probabilities are higher, you're going to fill the wick. Fills the wick, right? Took the high even. Continues ranging, la-di-la-di-la. A, B, C to the downside. Expectation after a corrective structure is to still take the high, because if it wasn't a corrective structure, and it started to become a corrective structure because of price ranging here for a long period of time instead of continuation. So A, B, C, coming back too high, ranging too long, probabilities higher to move up. You move up again. Eventually you come here, closing a candle in a gap, which is all the way like weeks back. There's a gap, an inefficiency, a fair value gap in one of the 12-hour candles. You close a candle in the middle of that gap, probabilities are higher to fill the gap, which eventually then also happened. And yeah, then we had the pump, and here we are now. And at the moment, probabilities are still higher to eventually take the double top here at 35.1k. But more locally, it can definitely be interesting, and probabilities are still higher to move towards the downside, grab the double bottom that we have over here, and look for some lower prices. Now, if you look at the confluences, we actually hit the daily naked point of control, it seems, which is actually very nice. 34.225 acting as resistance, exactly what we like to see. And price moving down now, moving below the point of control of this range as it stands with the current candle. Increasing probabilities, we're going to see the value area low, which we've already tested twice. So, you know, third time, probability is higher, you're going to find continuation. You might get a bit of a wick because we do have a double bottom, so you might wick the double bottom and maybe close above and then range a bit for continuation, because also here you have kind of like a triple bottom, low 1, low 2, low 3 on some charts that do not have this wick, which is interesting. 1 hour order block and then this low with a 1 hour gap. So you know, those are the areas to the downside that I'm keeping an eye on, where eventually I expect then a bounce for continuation, which probably will then happen next week. So we get maybe a move today, this Friday, get a bit of action, maybe later, you know, when New York opens, and then during the weekend it's going to be a nice sideways range again. And yeah, and next week we can go back to fireworks. So that is the current status from an Elliott Wave point of view, and I hope you enjoy it. By the way, guys, I'm gonna do 2 shout outs because I actually got to know 2 channels that I think are very much recommended. If you like Elliott Waves and you enjoy looking at Elliott Waves and people analyzing Elliott Waves, there's 2 people that I like to recommend. They have no idea that I do this, by the way. They don't know me. I just happened to stumble upon their Twitter channels. And I just want to give you guys also other Elliott Wave channels that you can have a look at, right? Because in the end, you're here because you also like Elliott Waves, I hope. And hopefully because I do a good job. So 2 other channels that I like to introduce to you on Twitter. The first one, let me actually get it to you in my other browser over here, because then I will open both tabs. So they don't know me, they don't know whatever, but I do want to show these to you. So first of all is Hov, right? You can see this. So Hov is also an Elliott Wave counter. I stumbled upon his Twitter the other day when I was just scrolling. You know, I follow mainly racing, Formula 1 and Trackmania stuff, which is my background. I was a professional gamer in Trackmania. I stumbled upon Hov, and yeah, he shares great analysis as well, mainly on, I think, XRP, DOT, Sol, ETH, and Bitcoin, if I'm not mistaken. But it's a great channel. He has nice, clear charts as well, what I like to see. Shares 2 scenarios. And I think this could be valuable for you guys as well. If you enjoy Elliott Waves, I think Hov is a fun one to follow. So I also follow him. And then we have X-Force Global. And he also does Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP. And yeah, I also, look, I can, the moment you see charts, I know if it is an experienced or an inexperienced Elliott Wave counter, also just by looking at the chart and how they organize the chart, right, makes such a difference. X-Force Global also has very, very nice clean charts, right? I love to see it, as well as Hov, Sensei Hov as well. So if you do not know these guys yet, you can, if you want, give them a follow. Again, this is just a shout out because I found them. I find it interesting. I love Elliott Waves. I use it for a long period of time, of course. I do my own analysis. Nothing is based on what they do, and they don't base anything on what I do. But it's nice because it's a community of Elliott Wave professionals, and we do our counts. And yeah, I think it's valuable for others to at least know about these two Twitter channels, because I think they share good content. And yeah, I follow them myself as well because I find it interesting. So yeah, very, very nice. Then we go into chat. There we go. There we go. What's up with chat? Da, da, da. Justin Chu, see bro. Oh yeah, this was the question part. Everyone smash the like, it's free. Thanks, man. Perfect, thanks, Koen. Always great to help where I can. Yeah, appreciate it, man. Like, sounds like the guy really needed the help as well. So I will reply to him later today as well. Gabriel, after 36.2k, could we look for 5 waves to new lows below 15k? I'm not thinking about below 15k yet. The probabilities are much higher. Even if you would go down to, let's say, 23k, 20k, probabilities are still highest to move back up to at least 39 to 50k. That's the big range, because on the higher time frame, 39 to like 40k is an important high time frame point of control with the golden pocket. Golden pocket is ranging from 39k to 44k, and then at 50k you have the 786 with the value area high, 48 to 50k, which is important. So those are important levels. So looking for anything lower, like if we think about the bearish macro scenario, it will take months, in my opinion, before we go and revisit potential new lows, if not longer than a year before you see that, because the probabilities are higher to at least see price going to 39 to 50. So even if you would fall down here in that bearish scenario I showed earlier just now, which is this one, even if you would move towards the downside here in an impulsive C, for example, or a wave Y, 3-wave structure, you're going to be looking for prices between 23.7 and 18.7. I would love it. The main reason that I would love it, which is an opinion, it's not analysis, it's just an opinion, is trading psychology. I would love it from a trading psychology point of view, because if you get a strong move down like an impulse, people are going to get so scared because you have a support bottom here, which then is broken, so people get scared, especially if you touch 20k or might dip below, people sell, and that is the nice moment to then take it to the upside. So from a trading psychology view, it would be amazing, because the whole, everyone's so bullish, buying, buy. From a trading psychology point of view, it would be nice. But prices below 15k, even if you would come down here, the highest probability by far is to still move higher to 39 to 50k. And then we observe the reaction first at 39 to like 43k, see what happens there. And if you continue to see local strength, going to be looking for 48 to 50. And while moving to the upside, of course, we have the resistance area still, right? We got the different target boxes all the way to 50k and also higher, by the way. Let's see what I think even above the all-time high, I got target boxes. And of course, people might think, wait, how do you even have resistance areas above the all-time high? Yeah, tricks with Fibonacci's and certain trend-based Fib pools, giving targets as well above price, ranging from, what is this, 73k to, what are we here? Oh, that's just, wait, 112, 117k. And I can still look for higher, but I decided, we're not even close. So that's where I quit, basically. I was like, okay, that's good enough for now. Price moving to the upside again. A nice typical range, right? Nothing going on here. For the diamonds, by the way, here, I will explain something about this range in the stream coming up over here, which has to do with double divergences. So we have divergences here bearish, but you also have bullish, making it very difficult to know exactly where price wants to go. We're in a bull market. Any short is trading against the trend. We can make it very easy. Any short is trading against the trend. Any long is trading with the trend. And, trading the trend is your friend. But if you have a plan and it shows you a short, then take the short, right? I mean, it's part of your plan. Your win rate over 100 trades. You'll be profitable, hopefully, after 100 trades. And more locally here, we do have bullish CVD. If that plays out, going to be looking for resistance over here. And then instead of moving to the downside, where we don't have too much support, as mentioned earlier, we could be looking for a range maybe even at 36 or 34. That's questionable still. First, observe the reaction. I'm very much level to level. So I do use, of course, Elliott Waves. But also with Elliott Waves, I have the support and the resistance levels, because Elliott Waves often gives you an area of interest between some certain fibs. But inside that area of interest, I want to know where's the highest probability of support in the bigger area of interest that Elliott Waves tells me is interesting. So, nice support, resistance, and if price then moves down, well, double bottom, more lows, 1 hour order block, 1 hour low. We wait and see. A lot of options power today. Max paying 28k. I don't see such a price except we nuke. Yeah, I'd love a proper nuke. It's always a possibility. Don't really expect it, but like a nuke could be interesting for price moving down, at least short term, before then reversing. Morning, Koen. How's everything going, buddy? What's up, Papa Live? He back. He's there once again. Good to have you here, man. I'm doing very well, thanks. Justin Chu, how are you doing, by the way, Papa? Also regarding what you wrote in the Discord, which of course is very interesting, what you mentioned with the like general market conditions, I suppose, in the world. Justin Chu would like to ask the settings of your CVD, settings in AGGR. You can download the template in Discord. So then you have exactly what I have as well, which is not there, which is here in Good to Know. So the Good to Know channel, here you can first of all see the website I use, download the Bitcoin template or Ethereum, Solana, whatever you use. These are made by Dario, by the way, thanks to Dario. And this is my Bitcoin template. You can just download it. You follow the steps that I wrote here and you'll be able to use it. And I even made a very nice CVD one-pager, so you actually understand what CVD is, how it works, what is recommended to be traded and what is not recommended. Of course, you can trade anything, but exhaustion, I mean, I suppose I have a lot of experience with CVD. I do not recommend it because it's a lot more difficult. And also price can continue pushing even though it shows exhaustion. So there's a lot more false positives compared to absorption, which you can use in your strategy if you want to. Maybe it's not an indicator that you like to use, or you don't know how it works, or you don't get the hang of it. That's fine. I don't use RSI. I don't use stock as well. I don't use moving averages. I don't use all that stuff because I don't like using it. It's just not my style. I don't enjoy it, but I do enjoy CVD. And I also made a video about CVD, which is the click here button. But also, if you just simply Google if you go to my channel, my main channel, and you search for CVD or beginner, or it should be on the home screen if you are a returning viewer. If there's a new video, then the new video is, oh no, if you're new, it's going to be the CVD video. If you're a returning viewer, it's another video on the home screen on my YouTube page. But you will find the CVD video in the videos. So CVD beginner, and then if you look for that, you'll find the video. Andreas Zahn, hallo, schöne Grüße. What's up? How you doing? Schmetterling, Kugelschreiber. You gotta love the German language. Bratwurst. I love Germany. Food is great. You get so much food for your money in Germany. It's pretty incredible. My man, I need you to ask something. I was checking the website for the naked point of control and those areas, but I can't see what you see. I think it is like AGGR, where I need your script. Do you mean ATAS? Ha, that makes me think. Okay, let me show you something. I put on my planner, I can't show you the whole thing because, you know, also private stuff, but YouTube, ATAS. Hey, yeah, there's a video coming. So what I will do is I will share my ATAS templates. Of course, in the Good to Know channel, will be public for everyone. I only use 2, by the way, to find naked point of controls. That's the only way of using it. I mean, you don't need ATAS to find naked point of controls. You can also just use volume profile. Like if you go to my channel, by the way, which is here, and then you search for loading naked, no worries, you don't get weird videos. This video here, how to trade naked point of controls using volume profile. Nice, this is one of the first videos I made 7 months ago, jeez. But here I explain other ways as well. Besides ATAS, I also show ATAS and ExoChart. But how to find naked point of controls using volume profile. You can use an indicator. I don't know if I actually still... yes, because I know people sometimes like to see this one. This one is Market Sessions and Volume Profile by Leviathan. A great guy making lots of indicators. And the value area high is blue, value area low is blue, and the point of control is red. And this is also daily. You can see daily. So that is quite nice. So also here you can look for daily naked point of controls. But it might be a little bit different, and the reason I like to use ATAS is because it's very accurate. You know, and I like pinpoint accuracy. But you can find the same stuff with some other, like indicators or volume profile. It's whatever someone likes. But I will make a video about ATAS, sharing my templates and explaining how to import the templates in ATAS and then what to look for. So yeah, it's definitely in the plan. Can you show how you set it up? Oh yeah, content for a video. Yeah, there you go. It will be content for a video. Diego, I was thinking about the sharpening the X concept earlier. I think the weekend can be a great opportunity to sharpen the X. Absolutely. The weekend can nicely be used for educational stuff as well. If price is ranging and there might not be a setup, then it's a great way to study the markets. Like, so my trading strategy doesn't give too many setups in a month. But it's also what I like because I have other stuff to do, and it might not work for everyone because people might be impatient, but hey, you know, it's about also how can you create your strategy. But the nice thing is it gives me time to do other things as well, like sharpening the eggs, working on the strategy, working on the plan, writing things out, especially for diamond. At the moment, I do lots of like writing things out, clarifying the strategy, because I have a lot of experience in it. So for me, it's like easy to spot setups and see things. But you know, some people have difficulty to implement what I use, which is okay. And if it's not working for people, it's okay as well if it's too complex. Because then, of course, I always still help them developing their strategy, or they at least have the steps on how to develop their own strat. So yeah, sharpening the X, very important. I typed how to sharpen my X and Google sent me here. That's what we like to hear. You know, we get different prompts and all the prompts are leading here as well. Yeah? You're in a really good place. Google has sent you the most amazing channel. I actually don't know if he goes into your sarcasm or if Pop is actually serious. But if he is, of course, I appreciate it. But it's quite funny. Card Crypto thinking the same. Jeez. Macno Quintero, great Koenz. Saludos desde Mexico. What's up? How you doing? Mexico Grand Prix this weekend. Please raise your hand if you're gonna watch it. Oh, there's no hand here. Click on the 100 if you're gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch it this weekend. I love Formula One. I heard that Max Verstappen has bodyguards because of the booing in the American Grand Prix, potentially being Checo fans as well. I have no idea, but I love Mexico. I love the Grand Prix there. So I hope it's going to be an exciting Grand Prix in Formula One. I think we have bullish CVD divergence on the 1 hour, 4 hour, and daily. I only use it on the lower time frames, but that is correct. But it's mainly like here you have bullish one, and here's a bearish one. And also the CVD chart is different than the Coinbase chart, which is what I don't like. That's my main problem here as well. So this wick is so much higher on CVD. On my chart, it's a lower one. But here, it's a higher one. And I don't like it. So, I would not so in my personal trading, I would not use these pivots, neither these highs or this low for any setup. Not interested. Neither this high, because that's how CVD works. Lower high, higher high. I don't like it. It's not in line with with my chart. So yeah, patience is required sometimes. Dasa Gaming, what's up? Core PC in 1 hour. Thoughts? Wait, do we have news? Oh, it's not a red flag. I don't actually expect too much because the red flags usually give volatility, and that's kind of it. It might happen at a moment. You might potentially go through support, but then I wouldn't. For me, wouldn't really be a news event related thing. So if it at least goes through support, because at the moment support is support till it's broken. We have some news coming out today. Could give us a decision. We need to go up or down. Yeah, why is it then? Why is it orange? Why is it not red? That's interesting, no? I wonder. But probabilities are higher still to move to the downside, news or no news. But it might accelerate some things. So that would be 25 minutes time. Could be interesting. Nice jacket. Soccer team of the Netherlands. That's correct. Yep, there you go. I got this jacket as a present from the KNVB for the Dutchies here, which is the Royal Dutch Football Federation, I suppose. And I worked with them a couple of years ago. And besides being paid for what I do, they also gave me a present, which is one of the jerseys that the Dutch national team players got themselves. Which is very nice. So yeah, it's like one of my favorite ones. I also use it for presentations and stuff. I love it. Given the law of alternation between 2 and 4, you want wave 4 to be longer than 2 because otherwise it would be invalid, or because that's how it usually is based. Wave 4 can be shorter. So the rule of alternation is most commonly wave 2 tends to be deep, short, and simple. Simple then means a zigzag most of the time. Wave 4 tends to be longer, shallow, and more complex, which tends to be flat, WXY, other structures that take more time. However, if wave 2 is shallow, long, complex, wave 4 has a higher probability of being deep, short, and simple. And that is the rule of alternation. It's between wave 2 and 4. So if 2 is 1, then wave 4 is the other. And if wave 4 is, or if wave 2 is the other, then wave 4 is the one. However, if wave 2 is complex and long, wave 4 still has, I believe, a 50-50% chance to also be long and complex, because that's the tendency of a wave 4 after usually an extended long strong wave 3. So yeah, because how can I say this? Wave 3 tends to be, of course, very impulsive, the strongest, highest volume wave, and wave 4 is correcting wave 3 as well, which therefore usually means it just takes time, a longer period of time. If the ETF goes approved this week, bullish scenario, I mean, we saw what what was it? The roddels, Dutchies, help me out here for a second. The gossips or whatever it was. This news spike event with Cointelegraph writing something, price moving up and down instantly. It was a nice moment. Yeah, you can imagine if anything is approved, then yeah, we might get some stuff going on, but in the end, look, also with this news event here, from an Elliott Wave perspective, probabilities were higher for a move up. So if you're long, you long. If you then get some random news event, that's only nice, you know. So in the end, you want to be on the good side of price, which you know, with Elliott Waves is one of the ways. There's many different ways. Be on the good side of hopefully the news events, but of course always trade safe, because it can be incredibly volatile. Yeah, when there's a news event and I'm not in a position, I personally prefer to just sit it out and wait what's up, you know, just let it go. If I'm already in a position, then it's all about risk management. So nice to have knowledgeable polls. Yeah, many people here in chat know a lot about either Elliott Wave, some news. So I'm a news noob. I don't know anything. I don't follow anything. The only thing I look at are the colors of these flags. I don't even know how this Powell dude, I don't know what he does. I don't know how he looks like. I don't know how often he speaks, but he speaks a lot because I see it in this sheet. It's none of my interest to even know what this guy does, what he is. But I see a red flag. So I'm like, hey, might be volatility. Might have to make sure my risk management is on point. It's the only, I don't know what GDP is. I don't know what QQ means as well. You know, it's I suppose a very focused approach of I don't have to know in order to use it, because for me it's more the volatility that's important. So I know that at this time there might be volatile price action, so I have to make sure I trade safe, which I always say in my videos. Apfelstrudel and schnitzel, absolutely. Sure, the schnitzels are big as well, eh? Apfelstrudel, very nice. And oh no, wait, that's Austria. If you go skiing in Austria, they have the pancake thing in the pan, but it's not a pancake. It's like a pancake, but then broken in many different pieces. How do they call it? I forgot the name. It's like the name has a German pronunciation. How do I want to increase my rank from gold to diamond? I guess you're not talking about Rocket League here. So if you talk about the memberships, you can check the join button below. And then you go to diamond. Flammkuchen, that's the one. So yeah, then click on join, then you see all the different levels and stuff, and then you can just move up if you wish to, of course. That's up to everyone themselves. I never really talk, also in the videos, you rarely ever hear me talk about the memberships. I prefer to put it on an end screen. I'm not really... I've never really been a sales dude, so I just put it somewhere so people know. But I rarely really talk about it, you know. People know where to find it. One Raw Artist, what's up? What do you think about Elliott Wave by Lux Algo, the free indicator? I have no idea, so let's have a look. Look, Elliott Wave by Lux... Oh, wait, how does this... Lux... Mate. Very interesting. Wave. Ooh. There we go. Lux Algo, 6.7k downloads. Okay. Let's have a look then. Let's have a look. Let's turn everything off. What does it do? I don't even know. What does it do? Oh, okay. Let's zoom out. Let's have a look here. What are the settings? Zigzag 4, 8, 16. So I don't know what it is. Fibonacci values 854. I use 886. So I'm gonna change that one. And 786. Wait. No. The question was, what do you think of the indicator? So let's not personalize this. Okay, let's look more local. That's of course more relevant. It's missing some data, no? I mean, where's your count here? It's like I identify an impulse, and but you know, and then what? Oh, I see a mistake. By the way, I see a mistake, which I'll get to in a second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is correct, I would say, with the impulse. The problem is now, at least on the daily, it didn't count this whole structure, which of course doesn't really make it useful, because it doesn't count. Maybe I have to go lower time frames. The mistake here, by the way, is the low of 1. The low of 1 is not this low, it's the one on the left. Let me show it to you guys. And this, of course, is also interesting, a bit weird, where they say wave 5 here ends. So I think this indicator also doesn't really get the point of double 1-2s or triple 1-2s, because if this is your end of wave 5 here, then this has to be some sort of a wave 2 or a wave 4, which of course, if this is the low of the move, which also is the wrong low because this is the low. If this is the low and this is your high and this is your retracement, doesn't make any sense, right? That's quite funny. Where was the then what was it what I wanted to say? Oh yeah, the corrective structure. I remember again. Over here. But now, where is the count? This was, wait, you have to go up in time frame again. Give it back. Give it back. Where are you? Come on now. Patience. Loading. Yes, okay. If you zoom in, it doesn't. So, I don't like it. Look, with Elliott waves, I do not recommend any Elliott wave indicator. Any. It's you can't skip the process of being good in Elliott waves. It's a lot of work, but there's no shortcut. The problem with the indicator, so here it says 1, which is the wrong low. This is the low because this was a WXY with a flat X double zigzag, sub-degree count, WXY in your wave 2. Then you have price moving down where it shows the wick of 3 here. The problem is, probably on a different chart, it's going to choose this one like on index, because this was a wick on Coinbase, but the low on most charts was this one, which I consider the low, because here it says this is a 3-wave structure now. There's no wave 4 in this dump. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is your low over here. This is your zigzag for a wave 4. Can be correct, right? ABC, okay, that's great. But then after your ABC, what's next, right? Why can't it count this? How does this work? I don't know. I've never been a fan of any Elliott wave, indicators. Can they work? Yes, any indicator can work, like CVD, like RSI, stochastic moving averages. Also, this indicator can work, but you need to build a system around the indicator. So not just using the indicators and then buy and sell because the indicator says buy or sell, but actually build a strategy around it. So if the indicator shows this, then one of the things in my strategy is checked, and then I need to see other things and check them all, and then I enter, because yeah. So for example, it says 5-wave move. So what do you think now, right? You're on a 12-hour time frame. You see a 5-wave move. This indicator shows you a 5-wave move. What do you think that retail? I shouldn't say, I'm a retail as well. What do you think that beginners that don't know Elliott waves, that use the indicator, what do you think their plan is when they see this? Because that's what they read all the time. They're probably going to think, hey, 5-wave structure, we're going to get a move down and continuation. Impulse. Because all of this is not counted, right? So they might not know that this is then a wave C. Also, this is interesting, ABC, but then what? You know, where's all the info here? So yeah, I like... you get my point, right? It's let's see what it does in the local range. By the way, let's see what's up here. Yeah, it's missing all the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Funny enough, it counts the same structure twice just to make sure you understand it's a 5-wave move to the downside, which is correct. But then the problem is, how is this in relation and the context to the rest? Where is your count here, right? This cannot be an ABC. If this is a zigzag or a 5 move, C has to end above, right? So apparently it didn't finish counting this, or it doesn't know how to count this. It doesn't count this, so it doesn't understand the context we're in. It just shows you a random 5-wave move because it can identify a 5-wave move. But then it doesn't see that you're ranging here, bullish CVD still, not invalidated. The bearish one's already played out, right? If price moves up, I'm curious to see how this is gonna work. Because preferably for the more bearish scenario, I would have liked to see price already moving to the downside by now. But the bullish CVD divergences are holding. So the invalidation might be hit. And if that's the case, we have resistance right above. So let's see, A, B. Yeah, so A, B, X. Yeah. In the end, in this range, the highest probability is to take the high. Either up directly, down directly, up, down directly. Highest probability 36K. So if there's an opportunity towards the upside, which is also the trend, it would be interesting, right? It's an interesting take. Yee, jeez, look at Diego go. Yo, remember, like, Diego, I'll get you sorted. Send me an email. But thanks, man. That's amazing. Welcome to the Diamond Squad. It's a great group. There's a lot going on in Diamond, especially also in the altcoin section where people trade the strat. But Diego, welcome, man. That's incredible. I will press hearts for that one. Welcome to the squad, man. A bit of a heart for Diego here. Incredible. Welcome to the team. Of course, I've seen your messages in Discord as well as in YouTube. So it's nice to see that after a bit of communication, you have been picking up building statistics. You've been picking up being more strategized, building a strategy, right, yourself, which is also a great focus that we have in Diamond, where it's not just about how do I trade and what do I use, but it's also how do you create a strategy. So, which I help people with. So yeah, welcome, man, to the squad. That's really cool. Good to have you here in particular as well, with everything you've been through the past week, basically, and everything you've written down. So welcome, man. That's amazing. Yeah, it's funny how I can also click these things, even though they don't, like, it's my own channel. But welcome, man. Just send me an email with your details that I request, like YouTube username, Discord username, Telegram username, and I'll get you sorted. I will go live for Diamond later this afternoon as well. a bit of chilling after this stream. But let's wait for 2:30 because it's almost 2:30 p.m. now. So if the news does anything, let's have a look. And then after 2:30, I'll go offline and continue in Diamond after a bit of a drink. Benji, how you doing, Benji? What's up? GDP, gross domestic product. Don't know what it's called in Dutch. Gross domestic product. Bruto nationaal product. Let's do some meer. Totale toegevoegde waarde van alle goederen en diensten in een bepaalde... Okay. So apparently it means the total amount of value of all the goods and services in a certain amount of time, usually 1 year. So that is what it means. But then the Q probably means quarter, I can imagine, because it's a QQ. So I can imagine it's a quarterly GDP, goods and services value report, or something. Interesting. And probably the MM is then monthly. YY is then yearly. Interesting stuff, no? Bruto binnenlands product. LJ, what's up, man? LJ, how you doing? LJ, by the way, he is, besides his work, he is also an entrepreneur himself. He got himself a big gig. So get some emotes for LJ, because he got himself a big client, which he will be working with in the upcoming weeks and months to come as well. So congratulations on signing that client, man. That's really, really nice. Good job on that one. So I also know, as a solopreneur in the early stage, like it's so valuable to have a good client that sticks with you for a nice long period of time. It just it also avoids some stress in some way. Vlamkoegen is not shredded pancake. Oh, Kaiserschmarren. Vlamkoegen. What am I thinking? Wait, picture. Then I know for sure. It's in the pan. Yes, this stuff. If you go on skiing holiday, you get this. But then this one still looks nice. The one I get is all mushed. Oh, here. Kaiserschmarren. This. Man. So good. It's my favorite winter sport food. I love this. It's a bit Dutch as well, because it's like pancake, and pancake, crêpe. It's any country makes pancakes. It's not Dutch. My mom makes crepes. She's French, which of course is very French. But man, I love this dish. It's amazing. Kaiserschmarren, that's the one. That is the one. QZ World, late today. Hey, but you're still here. You still made it. Welcome, man. Good to have you here. Good to have you here. PCE, price consumption expenditure. It is used to track inflation, which of course is a big topic for a while already. Inflation, everything inflation related. So, Daniel Beuzekom, goedemiddag. Goedemiddag. Makes me actually think. I see Daniel. Who was the person that asked a question in Dutch the other day? Hey, ja, juist. You already know how did you sort this out, by the way, Daniel, with your orders, the fact they didn't get executed immediately? Click on the eco calendar link for GDP QQ. Eco calendar link, is that wait, what did you say? Eco calendar for GDP QQ. GDP, I guess this is the calendar link. Thank you. Okay, so now we can actually read what it is. Annualized change in the inflation adjusted value of all goods and services produced by the economy. Actual less than forecast is good for crypto. Sure. Yeah, I like fundamental analysis would not be for me, man. At all. LJ, but today I gave myself a day off, which also is something that we have to do now and then, right? It's good to have a day off. Welcome in the stream, man. Poffertjes. Poffertjes are very good. I gave my South African niece, because my fiance is South African, and I gave my niece a poffertjes machine. So we made poffertjes. Like when I visited in September this year, we visited and we bought her a poffertjes machine. She's 7 years old. She loves it. She loves it, man. We were making poffertjes. I showed her how to make the poffertjes and make this, like not the sauce, like beslag. Make the thing to then put in the holes for the poffertjes. You know, she loves that stuff. Yeah, she loves poffertjes. No, come on, bit of action. Are we finally moving to the downside or not? Let's see what happens. We have 50 seconds left. And we have bearish CVD. Yeah, probabilities aren't looking great for upside, but as mentioned at the beginning, the probabilities are still higher to move towards the downside. So that would be quite interesting if that happens. Keep an eye on the double bottom here. Let's see. So I almost get the feeling of a new Euros count, like 10, 9, 8, 7, you know. Let's see what happens while I keep you guys on the screen as well. There we go. Come on. There we go. What's happening? The clock hit 2:30. We still have bullish divs, but the bullish divergences got countered by the bearish ones here. So price moving down. Now it wicked the low in the middle here. And there you go, volatility coming in. Are we moving up or are we moving down? If we move up, invalidation of this scenario is 34,403. There is a double top here. High number 1, high number 2. So that's interesting. You do have a potential 5-wave count here for then either an A, B, C or a 1, 2, 3. That's the question. We are at support, which as mentioned is not a great place to short unless your personal strategy says so. But support is support until it is broken. As long as it is not broken, it is support. I'm much more interested to trade with the trend at the moment as well, not gonna lie. No financial advice, obviously. We're on YouTube, right? So, are we gonna take the double top? We literally wicked the low here. Grab the liquidity. The bearish divergences have now played out more locally here because this little low has been taken with this wick. So the bearish divergences here are neutralized. Of course, quite volatile price action now. Bit of action, always nice. Always nice. Zooming out, we do have like higher lows in price and lower low on the CVD. On both yellow, not on blue here with this low, but we do have bullish divergences on blue here. So there is absorption of market shorts going on with limit longs, which can push price towards the upside, which is of course what you want to see if you're at support. It's nice to see some action, right? Like the whole day it's been so quiet. And now you have a candle that actually moves up and down. Duh. Nice. I had to upgrade to diamond. When you have some time, please confirm my accounts. Absolutely. Send me an email, Diego, and if you have already done it, I will make sure to get you sorted before I go live for diamond later this afternoon. So, and you never have to, right? But appreciate it, man. It's such a great group. There's a lot going on, and a lot to learn as well. Long to 4844. Is that Ethereum, or do you actually mean? Or do you mean 3-4? No. 4844. 4844. Here. It looks for ABC and now wave C. I mean, I don't really like to get involved too much on the very, very low time frames here. Like for me, for example, this looked like a flat structure. Let's go to the 3-minute time. Yeah, 3, 3, 5 looks like a flat to me, this structure here. And if this is a flat, probabilities would increase for price to take the double top. Of course, as long as bullish divergences are there, probabilities are higher for price to take the double top in this range. From an Elliott Wave point of view, it would be nice to see actually a bit more downside, but hey, we're at support. As long as support holds, it's support. So bullish divergences, this high over here, touch the 886, which is that one. So this one touched the 886, bullish divergences. Yeah, I could make a case, no? It's something I said over here in oh yeah, here. Price also hit the 886. Together with some bullish divergences, it increases probabilities to possibly take the double top at 34.3k, which is here. So gotta be patient. And that is why I like to also, level to level. So at the moment, this looks like a three-wave structure. And if we are going to invalidate the more bearish scenario here by moving to the upside, reaching this high over here or this invalidation level, probabilities increase for either a triangle or continuation. But we still have resistance up here as well. And of course, it can still wick the double top and then move down. So, we never know what price does. We can only play probabilities, and at the moment we're at support. So it's definitely no financial advice, a great place to short at support. Unless you made that a plan. Action. Gotta go enjoy the day. Trade safe. Yes, trade safe indeed. Thanks, Mark. See you at the next one, man. Morning, Koenz. Is Bitcoin tracking the Wyckoff pattern? I'm actually not really familiar with Wyckoff. Sorry. Some other people in Discord are very knowledgeable about Wyckoff, but I don't know too much about Wyckoff and the different phases and the price action in those phases. So I can't really answer that question for you, I'm afraid. Do you consider the possible running flat finishing below the double bottom without going lower? It is definitely a scenario that would be another running flat, which of course a running flat is rare, so preferably you're gonna then take this low. If you go below support here, preferably you're just gonna go below 33.2, because else you have another A, B, and then a 5-wave C. If it ends here, it's not a running flat, which is just rare. And as long as the invalidation isn't hit, from an Elliott Wave point of view at the moment, as long as invalidation isn't hit, the probabilities are for a move down, but you are at support, which is never a great place to short. This was the great place to short. No financial advice. I gotta repeat that often if I say those things. WXY and now wave X triangle. Yeah, like the triangle was also Card Crypto has actually been looking into the triangle thing here as well. So yeah, wait, no, this one, ABC locally. So this was before we had the moves down and up that followed, but it's definitely a scenario which would then also play in the hands of this Elliott Wave scenario if this is a bit of a triangle. It's just that I don't really like the subwaves. 4 out of 5 waves have to be a zigzag. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Correction, potentially. But then what? Looks like a 3. Or this can be your ABC, but then this is your... that's a flat. Which is not allowed in a triangle, in a wave B. It has to be a zigzag. Which increases probabilities that you potentially have a 5-wave structure here, where all of this is a wave 2, or a wave B, and then you're going to get a wave C or 3 to the upside. Which would play in line with the bullish CVDs that we have as well. More bullish CVDs, high low in price, lower low in yellow. Locally, that is, because this is the 3-minute time frame. So I think price wants to go for a push up, where if this is a 5-wave structure to the upside, yeah, then what? That's the thing with 5-min counting. Trying to count this, prefer to stay around on the 15. This could be a flat. But yeah, you have a double top, you have a double bottom. The only thing is you do have bullish divergences. You had bearish ones here, but they already played out now. Especially after taking the low, but even after taking this low, you say they played out. So yeah, it's nothing has happened. We're still literally at the same place, but probabilities wise doesn't look too shabby for the double top. From an Elliott Wave point of view, if you go towards the upside, you might as well just resistance. I don't know. We got our scenarios. And we got this weird wick as well. George Martin, how you doing? George has been commenting a lot lately as well. What's up, man? WXY and now wave X. Oh yeah, that was X triangle. A pump before the New York Open is never good news. Yeah. One more hour, 50 minutes before New York opens. It might accelerate things, or you just go the other way around. Posted PCE rose and spending tops estimate. For your information, posted PCE rose. I will get to that later. If you post something for me to check, make sure to tag me. Else it's a bit difficult to find it. For your posted PCE rose and spending tops estimate. Okay. I think that we'll see what happens, of course, on the chart, but we're at support. We still have the bullish CVD divergences that are not invalidated. I do like to keep an eye on 3-minute CVD when there's volatility. And at the moment, higher low, lower low on yellow, which is a bullish CVD divergence on on the 3-minute time frame. It's of course very, very low time frame, but it sometimes can give a bit of an indication of what price wants to do when it's volatile, when it moves up and down. We're at support, bit of a structure, retracement, bullish CVD. Yeah. Not too shabby. But honestly, I think if it moves up, give me a second here, just thinking. Yeah, the thing is, with if we're thinking regular flat, A, B, C, you want to see the lows taken at a certain moment in time. Even if you take the double top here, you want to wick it and move down, because then you're looking for A, B, C, and C is then a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So eventually you then expect the lows to be taken. If this is a 3-wave structure in an A, B, C, this wave C is very, very long. Not only it's quite long in price, but also time-wise, because your wave A here is only like 2 to 3 candles. Wave C, I mean, it's at least shorter than the less common target, the 1.618. But if this is a 3-wave structure, and this is also what looks to be some sort of an ABC move, in a WXY, you can't have Y and W be the same structure. So either this is counted differently, or you're in a bigger triangle, which is the other scenario that we have, the more bullish one, where if you move towards the upside, you invalidate the bearish count, and then you have potentially this scenario, as in a triangle, or you just continue. Because in this range, and that's, I keep saying, like, shorts, honestly, with the trend that we're in, you know, like, yes, if shorts are following your plan and entry requirements, they should be taken. But the trend is to the upside. Probabilities are highest to take this high. Whatever happens more locally, probabilities are highest to take the high and move to 36K. The behavior of price here is very wave 4-ish, very wave 4 kind of price behavior. So highest probability taking the double top. Besides, this high is only like a few dollars below this one, which increases probabilities that price will take the high anyway, because there's a double top as well. So this high on my chart was 35144, and this one is 35157. $13 difference between those highs. Kaisersmarn. Yeah, there he is. Christian comes in first thing. Boom. Yeah, correct. The Kaisersmarn. That was what we were looking for earlier. Let me put you guys in. So yeah, it doesn't look too shabby. In a bullish scenario, I would probably... No, wait. Wait. 1 second here. X, Y... Oh, yeah. Oh, I have a count. I have a count for you. X, Y... X, Y. And then you have a W. Oh no, then you get a flat and a flat. Wait. W. You can't have a flat in W and a flat in Y, so this X is then incorrect. Well, this is very, very low time frame. W, X, Y. It's not really too nice. Flat, zigzag, zigzag, but it's only a wick. And then you move up for Y. That's very low time frame counting, but that's a way to get this range done. Because if this is a 5-wave move and this is your high, you need to count all of this as a 3-wave structure. One, two, three, four, five, and this looks 5-wavy. Oh wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. W. Yeah, W, X, Y. That could be the end for a correction and then continuation upside. With the bullish CVD divergences, that would make sense because then you have here your wave A, B, C, or your wave 1 to higher prices. Should have thought of that earlier in the stream. Looks like bullish CVDs might play out now. Higher lows, lower highs. That is what a triangle is, of course. Higher lows and lower highs, yes. But I think if price moves to the upside now, I don't really like the triangle scenario, but it's kind of like the only thing left. Or you just push through for new highs and you're going to finish at 36K and you are just going to range there for the weekend. So this is how probabilities keep changing. It looked nice for the bearish scenario, but you're at support. So, and that's why also every time I talk about that bearish scenario, I keep saying you're at support. You know, as long as it's not broken, it's not broken. Not short at support and long at resistance, you know. That's not what we do here. So it's quite nice seeing some action, some volume coming in, undoubtedly as well. So this could be indeed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, W, X, Y, corrective structure, continuation to the upside in a wave C or a wave 3. That depends on the volatility of the move and the structure. I should make a picture of that soon. Update. The double top. Oh yeah. If we're gonna take that one, prepare. When does the 4.5 billion Bitcoin options expire? That's a good question. I actually wouldn't know. I don't follow any news, any at all. So I don't know. I have no idea. Oh wait, is that news? That's not really news, right? I guess it's not news, but I also don't follow options and those type of things, I guess. I'm sorry, I'm so clueless. It's like, here you have this guy doing like lots of Elliott Waves and trading, and you know, I have my strat and my plan and all that stuff, but I'm so focused just on what I know so well, like this is what I like to use. This is my little like niche, and I completely disregard anything else. Like I've always been like that. Also with school, like it's always been like that. I'm completely clueless about things that are outside of my interest. Like, if people talk to me about like things happening in the Netherlands on like politics, I have no idea. I cannot care less about what's happening in politics. I don't know. It's with many things. If it's not my interest, I literally spend zero time. So it's interesting. A pre-open move, yeah, before New York opens. At the same time, that weakness is also my power, I suppose, where because I focus so well on the things I like, and I can really, I don't even want to get in. If I don't have interest in something, I'm clueless. I don't want to know about it. It's also a strength. Of course, at the same time, a weakness, because you might have a bit less general knowledge. But I don't care about that because I care about my specific expertise. And you still pick up some general knowledge here and there, but I just don't, I have no interest. Mr. B in the house. What's up, B? But it's interesting, the 4.5 billion options expire. That's, of course, a big amount of, money. So I actually don't know if it would impact price in some way. It's not in the news thing, is it? Holy moly. Look at CVD. You have a big green candle, then followed by a small red one. But there's a lot of shorting here being absorbed. Higher low, lower low. So yeah, you're correct, Andre. You're absolutely correct. That's where risk management comes in, no? And it's also, everyone likes to use different tools. You have fundamental traders, technical traders, a combination of both. I can really recommend the Market Wizards book series, which is amazing. The best traders in the world, but you read stories about amazing fundamental analysts, traders, amazing technical traders, a combination of both, scalpers, swing, day traders. It's inspiring to read those books as a trader. It shows what can happen, and it really does not matter what your strategy is. It doesn't matter if you like fundamental or technical. The one is not better than the other. It's how you apply it in your trading. What is your plan? How do you use fundamentals, use technicals, or a combination in your actual trading plan? That's what matters. You can trade trend lines and indicators all over the chart and be an incredibly profitable trader. There's like Elliott Waves is very complex. You don't need Elliott Waves to trade profitably. Not at all. It's just if you're interested in Elliott Waves, then probably you can make it work for you because you have the dedication to study it. But if you use RSI, some other whatever indicator, you still need to build a plan around the indicator just to make sure it fits, with your strategy, with your plan, with your personality, with your lifestyle, with your risk appetite, with your risk to reward ratio, with your win rate. Yeah. Either someone just pushed it to the upside, sold the long, and that's it, or this is a big bullish CVD divergence and you're going to take the high. Now, if we have to believe volume, a bit of a push here. And you have the bigger bullish. By the way, the target for these bullish CVD divergences here is this high. 34.25. That's your target. And on yellow, with this low here, the target is going to be one high higher. So yeah, let's see how this goes. Looks good for upside though, but we will see, we will see. Basic support resistance, yeah. Actually, it's been quite a nice range. Of course, we had the target box here yesterday, which was first support and then resistance moving down into the next target box, which is this one here, where we have support. And obviously, we do have a bearish Elliott Wave scenario of going down further. But as long as price doesn't give you that and you're at support, it's not no financial advice. It's just not a short. Shorting at support, longing at resistance. It's not good. I prefer to miss out on the move to the downside for a better long opportunity to the upside. Or if a plan works here and you see what you want to see according to your plan, there might be a trade in here for you, which can be a short, but as long as you have a good plan, it doesn't matter. If you trade based on emotion, that's when the things become a problem. Wow, look at this tanking. It might be either very leading. Oh, that's, you don't want to see this go to the upside. We might just reverse it if so. Red candle. But hey, it's not finished, so nice little wick. Well. Okay, everyone. This is what is gonna happen. I see a pop-up in the right corner that people received ads, so I skipped those ads for you. Google automatically puts ads in the stream. You know, I don't know when that happens, but I saw the pop-up because gonna end the stream here. We've been online for 2 hours exactly. And had a good time with you all, but it's also time to continue some other stuff. And yeah, you know, there's always more to do. Pistachio, I saw Pistachio coming in chat. I was like, yo, I gotta go. He's asking too many questions. Yeah, not a great idea. Oh, and I get a phone call as well, so I don't know. Let me quickly pick this up. I'll keep the mic on. Let's see what happens. Met Koen Schobbers. Ah, ja, van de kant. Klopt. Kan je over, 5 minuten terugbellen? Helemaal goed, dankjewel. Hoi. Yo, guys, do you remember that last Friday I got called by, or Thursday, I was called by Dutch media for an interview? Do you remember? Who was here when that happened? That I got called twice in one stream by Dutch media for an interview? I got called again. It's a newspaper in the area of Barneveld that want to interview me because I'm going to give a workshop in the library there, in their city. So they call me for an interview for the local newspaper because they like to write something about it. I don't know. It's always the timing happens to always be the live stream. Dutch media always calls me during live stream somehow. There you go. But yeah, I was actually closing the stream, of course. Mr. B just shorted. If it's part of your plan, my man, then it's all a sum of like the wins and the losses, right? So if you have a plan, you know the win rate statistics, and over 100 trades you're profitable. Whatever happens, you enter a position. Stick to the plan. It will be a loss, it will be a win, doesn't matter. Just different, like same shit, different day, right? It's great. Austria is great on desert. Desert. Yes, absolutely. Morning for Flora. Morning, maybe Band. Thanks for the show. Appreciate it, man. Yeah, time to move. This might as well continue through 34.6. What I like to at least, like, you know, it's level to level. If we break the double top, looking for resistance. If it doesn't wick it, if it wicks it and closes below, we might just do this. But next level would be resistance here, which is between 34.5 and 34.7. If, however, there's not too much happening here, like if you continue building bullish CVD divergences against resistance, probabilities are high, you're just going to continue, and we're going to range at 36K this weekend. So let's see what happens, no? Don't blame me, man. Thanks, LJ. See you later as well. 33.2, then 36K. That is still a possibility. Udayanga Saman, what's up, Koenz? What is up? How you doing? Andre K, congrats. Thank you. I actually do get called by Dutch media quite a lot because since 2014, which is almost 10 years, I have been in Dutch media. And this, I have actually a sheet where I have to update it. The most recent stuff is not online, but I have a sheet with all the news, podcasts, television shows, international Dutch articles, and like this is a sheet of all the media that I have done so far since 2014. 331 rows, so yeah, gives a bit of an idea. And these ones are all separate ones, but I didn't put them in a row. Yeah, I have to update this. Like also public speaking this year, I'm almost reaching like I'm getting close to like 40 speaking gigs this year. I've done literally like I put 3 in. I need to put so many more in. Like all the other, but yeah, it just gives you an idea of how many I speak. So I think we're crossing 300. Well, this year we're going to cross the 300 speaking gigs as well. So, yeah, it's good times. Good times. Keynote speaker, always fun. So yeah, we're at support. Bullish CVD. Bit of a push to the upside. Take the double pot. Double top. Put the T and the P the other way around. And looking for resistance. If resistance doesn't show any weakness, looking for up. It's as simple as that. If price breaks this target box here, this support, then, and not just wick it, because we have a double bottom, so not just wick and up. If it starts closing here, then I'd be looking for lows here. But at the moment, volume up, price up, bullish CVD divergences, double top looks interesting. I got to go, everyone, because I get called again. I hope you're going to have a great day. Trade safe. And tonight, 7 p.m., another update because I'm going to miss the news call. I have an interview now. So I'll see you guys later, okay? Bye-bye. Bye-bye-bye.